Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Woohoo, party! There you go. Yeah, we're live on YouTube, rocking and rolling. Thank you so much, Kevin, for doing all the back end stuff. Today is Friday. I'm taking Thursdays off these days of the daily brief recaps. Hope you don't mind. Julian and Kevin did a great job. Pretty much, Julian, I helped him out a little bit through the daily brief yesterday. And then we had on Colin today from Hero. He seems to be doing pretty well, getting settled into his analyst role. And he treated TRI with a really nice review and overview, and even gave us a couple of really cool ideas to chew on through his report today. So TRI are super fortunate. Of course, you can always check out that 30-day trial if you feel like crashing the daily brief for a little bit and just sort of see what we do. This should just be nothing more than just like a dovetail, just sort of summary kind of report, nothing really concrete here. But nonetheless, hopefully nice little freebie, nice little value added. And if anything, it may seem really hard for you to believe watching these free videos. We don't have any advertising or anything attached to this, so it's not like we're really motivated. The viewership, it's all right, a couple hundred people. I mean, if it can help, awesome. And if anything, it should just be a dovetail with the daily briefs. Maybe like a little teaser to get you to take advantage of that free 30-day trial. When I look at this kind of image, what I see are a lot of ranges. And considering obviously a very large political event coming up here in the next couple of weeks down in the United States, I think on balance that seems logical. In a weird sort of way, I think the market had priced in almost like a runaway one direction Biden, and if anything, I almost feel like maybe the odds makers are pulling back in a little bit. I think Mr. Trump did a little bit better job last night, being muted. I think actually helped his cause, and on balance, I'd say that he won that debate last night if there really was a win to be had. But market obviously is considering this whole stimulus problem. How do we sort of pass that? A lot of, and then of course also two big celestial events. The 13th of November, 12th, 13th, if I remember correctly, is another one of these crazy celestial events this year. And then, of course, we have the big Jupiter Saturn conjunct December 21st, which is the biggest since 1623. So get through all of that. Maybe just sort of take a pause in and around New Year's. We sort of figure out who's actually driving the bus down in the States, and we sort of set the table for the new year. Unfortunately, this whole COVID stuff, I think it's going to make it very stressful through this election. It almost seems perfect. Europe's blowing up right now. And of course, this U.S. election is a good couple weeks away. So my hunch is all hell is going to be breaking loose right around that election down in the States. Oh, boy, what a mess. So any huge moves, new trends established? I don't know. Tough to say. U.S. dollar index coming off here today. That should be a bit of a risk on bet. But I also see, too, there's lots of wranglings around the Google or mega F stocks, and Google's looking awfully dangerous right now. So we might see that, things like the big stock indexes have to come off a chunk because of the overweightness of those big tech stocks in the major indexes, like if Google falls apart here. So interestingly, we do see that the junior market, the Russell 2000 relative to the Dow, is just going ape shit here, breaking out to new highs. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but this is what I do. a stock that I own happened to double in price, and so I sold half on a double. We're in such a frothy environment that not this is a great, and this is one reason why I really love trading the stock market is you might have your entry, and this was absolutely textbook. Everything that we do at TRI, this had just our trade written all over it. So if you want to learn the setup, what I've told people is, look, our job is just to give this away for free. But just because you know the setup and actually executing it with relatively low anxiety and being able to replicate that behavior over and over and over again, that's another conversation altogether. So if you need help getting to that point, then we have the school built specifically for that purpose. This was one of the first setups I learned, like literally like 30 years ago. And it's just as valid today as it was then. So, it's a very typical stock. Just come in, buy against the bottom end of the range. Stock pops. I have my order working to sell half at a double right on 50% rolls. Nothing really out of the ordinary. But because of the fun stock market gap violently higher, and on the open, there I got my fill way up top there. Woohoo! So I not only sold half on a double, but I actually got a 44% return on top of now I have free stock. I don't know where the hell this damn thing's going to go. Might go off the board, but what the hell? I got a free position now. That's the kind of trading I love doing. And, this is the kind of anecdote that actually you can realistically actually think about doing crazy things like doubling your money, which is really not normal on a regular basis if you can follow these kind of setups. So anyway, that's kind of day I've been having in the stock market. It's kind of nice. I didn't get in on that last Bitcoin pump. So as a result, I just had to sit patiently with discipline and, wait for my setup somewhere else. Or even, in Bitcoin, we'll just watch. Maybe a new setup will come in, but I didn't participate in that, but market paid me over here. So go figure. It's a trader's life. So anyway, back to our conversation. Little stocks seem to be continuing to pay off. Try and hunt setups, good quality ideas. But the senior stocks, man, they're just sort of stuck in the mud. And of course, the crude oil, which I really don't like. It's kind of ironic because there's a lot of crude stocks that are looking very uppy here. I actually went and bought an airline stock, though, yesterday on a beautiful breakout. So I'm more than happy, and they're up again today. So I'd actually like to see the oil come down. That would help my cause. And, I suppose for all the poor gold bugs, when the fuck is oil going to calm down so gold can actually catch a bid and start getting going here? So I am. It's fascinating how this silly bond market has played itself out here. I'm now watching what I kind of consider a pretty typical triangle, and usually the triangles resolve about 2/3 the apex. So this is getting awfully triangle-y. In fact, even if I just go boobity boo, I've been thinking for a long time that the bond market is due to actually stop going up and start going down in earnest. And I just wonder, just looking at that triangle, whether this is sort of 2/3 of its ultimate apex. I don't know, but long and short of it here, this is not a bullish image. That should intonate that interest rates are going up on the long end, which should make the Fed happy, right? They should see that should be the only reason why the long bonds would go up, or excuse me, down in price, up in yield, is because they must see some sort of inflation in the pipeline. So I don't know whether I talk about it in the public, but often I talk with the community about our market-based inflation-deflation proxy, and it is working smartly towards inflation's direction, which is a message we haven't been, like this has just been deflationary forever. So to actually see a bottom coming in here and a little bit of inflation actually coming into the equation, I'm sure that makes the Fed immensely happy. So what that does to the housing market. If interest rates actually start trending higher in earnest, that might be sort of the catalyst that finally makes housing affordability a little bit tough here. But that will be a road or a bridge we will cross when we get there. For now, not too worried about that. What I am surprised is how the gold market has just been completely left behind here. And it honestly feels to me like the market has just decided that Bitcoin is its fear proxy now. We're all gold bugs. Maybe if gold can get its butt back above here and start Wing out. But we looked at the gold stocks last week and they just didn't look ready. So we'll go take a look at the gold stocks again next Tuesday. We'll see how they look to start off the week. Maybe they actually are getting ready for some pivots. I didn't see anything startling there. And usually the gold stocks like to lead the gold price, so I'm watching that closely. Heading on over to crypto. Still feel to a certain degree that the DeFi sort of that fluff part of the market, it's almost played itself out. We actually got a nice little inside bar reversal. I heard some people talking bullishly about some DeFi names. I think this Wi-Fi, I think this is the one that people are excited about. I'll follow the chalk marks. Don't mind following Link. We'll see how he looks. Don't see any real turns just yet. And of course, I'm a big fan of that RLC. You guys probably remember from years ago. I was super jazzed about this thing, like way, way, way. I've been long this thing forever. Through the whole blow off top, I started buying RLC way over here. So I love this name. I've been in it forever. So my DeFi proxy through this, I think you can call this DeFi. I don't know, but I've been watching this battle right here. So if this counter trend rally, altcoins getting going in earnest, you should see this perform. We break through these lows. I think whatever bullishness in DeFi, it evaporated. The reason why I say that is because the corn, of course, is on quite a tear here. I think the corn ran into some pretty big levels. Where the hell's that damn chart? Oh, I got it on here somewhere. Really cool chart that I drew up with a nice big fat triangle on it, but can't show you if I can't find it. There it is. So, beautiful illustration of the relevance of Gann angles. This is a Gann angle done off of the all-time high, and you can see this is the 4-to-1 angle, and this was the 3-to-1 right down in there, or is that a different one? I guess, where is my marker? I guess there's 3-to-1 there. Interesting. I don't know. Man, there's so many lines, eh? I guess that's 3-to-1 there. So we slammed up into there. So this is this same one off the all-time highs. Let's see if we can change that a little better for you. Which one is it? 3-to-1? I think it's this one. Make that white. Yeah, there we go. So off of the all-time highs. This is us slamming into the 3-to-1, and look at the fight that happened off that 3-to-1. And then we lost it, and then had to come back, recapture it, and then woo, up to the 4-to-1. So that's where that's the angle we're fighting with now. And then if we draw, same up angles off of this low, then we've got a 1-to-2, and this is, I think, the 1-to-1 line, if I'm not mistaken. 1-to-4, 1-to-3, 1-to-2. Point here is 1-to-2, beg your pardon. So that's 1-to-3, 1-to-4. So 1-to-2, 1-to-3, which is, that in itself is a pretty bullish statement off of these lows. Market is very strong. But as you can see, we slammed up. There was, like I said there a moment ago, I guess that was the 8-to-1 off of that local high. So we slammed up, just blew right through it. And I think over the Broiler Chicken show, I was talking about how this was an ABCD. Off lower time frames, I was hunting a bot, trying to get in here. It didn't quite form very well. Had really good Bollinger Band setup breakouts. Huge rally. Julian was like all over the long side. So congratulations, Julian. Great trade. Um, and we just slammed right up into this 1-4. Bang! And also interesting, if we do Bombs off of this consolidation range, there's 4.669. Off of this small consolidation, that was RAF Bobo 877. Off of this range, the extension, good old parking garage. You've heard Brian talk lots about that. That also said, hey, we're going to run into some traffic. The question ultimately is, what do these ABCDs look like in the end? Are they just the classic purple, very symmetrical? Or sometimes these ABCDs can be what are called alt ABCDs, A to B, way up here at the 127. Sometimes they can go all the way up here to the 1.618. What a coincidence. There's 1.618 up there. There's good old Bomb chaos, and there's that crazy 4-1 level. So I think it makes sense why the market just ran out of steam up here. If you look at this on a lower time frame also, and remember, kind of like what I showed you with that funny little stock trade I did today and the El Tangonator. This isn't information that's Brian's. This is the universe's information. If anything, there shouldn't be any mysteries about this. This should be an open book. So, another concept I want you to learn from these video feeds. This shit works. It's not a secret. There's no monopoly on it. The only reason why I'd want you to come to TRI is because our community is really receptive and friendly and inviting. I think our instructors are top-notch, brilliant people, super PMA. And I think the shell to learn this and be able to manage your own behavior, which is what usually kills most people in this game, the framework, how are you going to get from I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing to, hey, I'm a professional trader and I just trade day in, day out. How do you get there from A to B? And we sort of laid out this framework that I think has done a pretty darn good job at fulfilling that need. So, yeah, some of these concepts are a little bit esoteric. I mean, things like Gann angles, we don't get to that till our intermediate program. And then things like Alt A, B, C, D as potential trade locations or PRZs, potential reversal zones. That's like level 3. But here's something that anybody can take away from this. When you see the market moving up aggressively, and in this particular case, we'll just use volume. This literally means, hey, there are lots of bulls. Don't go and short that. You're asking for trouble. But do you notice what happened here? Market went to higher highs in price, but the volume did not. So we already know up here that there's problems developing. And sure enough, you've often heard what I said. When you hear or when you see, I don't think you're going to hear it, but when you see, this is a volume divergence, but when you see divergence, if you are a bull, what should you do? It's the universal information of the market here. This isn't some secret, but at the same time too, I can completely understand that just because you know what a divergence look like, well, that's not, actually, woo, look at that. I just made a whole shitload of money. I mean, that's a big difference, right? So anyway, if you can learn this on your own, that is screenshot worthy, whether it be things like 1.61 extensions, whether it be crazy ass 4-1 Gann angles off all-time highs. And then, the coup de grace is when we come into that level, gee whiz, there's a big fat divergence. And in this case, it's volume. Hence, cool your jets. What's really interesting is now we have divergence. And remember, we said this is PRZs. These are trade locations. I actually don't really have a problem if somebody said, well, Brian, actually, I'm short off this double top and I'm looking for probably a kiss of this 8-1 from the other direction. And I often see this. I'm sure a lot of my traders do. That I would be like, okay, well, there's your ABCD. I'm taking profits here. The market will blow past me. Guess who's buying here? Public idiots. Probably Willie Stupid, that kind of stuff. And then often what I see is the market will come right back and it will settle in right off of the level at which that I was originally thinking that that's where I want to get out. So my hunch is there's probably a pretty good chance the old coin's trading back down to this 12,300 or whatever. So that's sort of what I see happening in the market. Hope you got some value out of that. I mean, I tell you, that's usable information that you can learn from this feed. That's totally free. Nobody charges you a penny. And this can make all the difference in the world between you winning or losing at this game. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. I made a comment there about the DeFi coins, trying to bottom. Same thing with this shit perp. A lot of names. Obviously, with the Bitcoin rally up, if you're pricing your altcoins in Bitcoin, they got crapped out. But versus US dollar, I see a lot of them. They're just sitting there just doing absolutely nothing right now. So, if you can step in off the bottom end of the range, good old Nanny Nibbles, not a bad idea. Anyway. Okay, everybody, I think I'll leave the summary at that. Hope you got some value out of it. See everybody for Broiler Chickens on Sunday. All the best, and bye for now.